I want to talk a little bit about this whole idea of collaboration in business now, social collaboration through the use of social collaborative tools, platforms, enterprise social networks or ESNs. I think this is a tremendous age to be living in, where we have these tools where we can engage and collaborate online across our organisation, but externally with people all around the world. Movements now starting for social good. This is really good stuff. But you know what? You can buy the most sophisticated digital software in the world. You can put in all these lovely collaborative platforms, but unless you build a culture of collaboration built on trust, respect, and relationships, it's a waste of time. In fact, what happens is, if you don't spend that time building that positive culture, you end up with the bad stuff happening, and then social becomes all too hard, and you shut it down, or you put all this stuff into risk, and basically you actually destroy the whole reason why we're doing social. So what I'm finding in my work personally is that those organisations and businesses who invest in building a great social experience internally and externally, and the emotional economy at work, we're working with our colleagues at Kinship, Mike Green and his team, to deploy Australia's first social business practice, social media strategy and practice builds using the appreciative inquiry whole system positive culture and engagement approach, which starts with a fundamental question, why? And it says, well, why do we want to be social? But then it moves into relationships. So we spend time building a collaborative code, and we bring people together to understand how to behave in a positive, kind way on social, in ways that engender trust, in ways that release authentic conversations, because social at its best is nothing if it's not authentic. And authenticity is linked to innovation, it's linked to value creation, it leads to honesty, it leads to openness, it leads to quick resolution of customer issues, and disputes get resolved quickly. So for all sorts of reasons, it's really important to invest in collaboration and building what I call the preparation for collaboration, which is the time taken to bring people together to say, how are we going to do this together in ways that affirm respect. And so the start of that process, I believe, something that I've found is working incredibly well, is the deployment of a natural talents technology. We talk about technology, digital technology. We've got this great technology now called natural talents profiling, which recognises the individual talents of people. And you know what? 1/3 of the people in the world are wired around relationships, and 1/3 around results, and 1/3 are both. So when you're actually, and 1/3 of people are wired around innovation, and 1/3 are wired around experience-based. Now it's interesting, when you talk when I talk to some of my colleagues in the technology world, and they talk about disruption and, you know, and disrupting things, and the notion of basically taking people with you on a journey of change, that's brilliant. But even the word disruptive, for 1/3 of the population, that would be cool. It means new things, it means creativity, because that's how they're wired. But for the other 1/3 of people, if not half of the population, you mention the word disruption, or you start with disruption, and you'll scare the living daylights out of them. Already they are disengaged from the process of collaboration, because they are what we call experience-based. They have a natural wiring around wanting to invest emotionally in a technology for a period of time, or a process, or a way of doing work, or a way of collaborating, that they feel that they want to keep repeating. For them, certainty is important, stability, harmony. Change is a challenge. Change is a challenge for them because they don't know what the future is going to hold, because you've taken away something from them. So when you put this word disruption as the first word in a change program based on technology change, or digital, or or collaboration, you're actually going to do the opposite. You're not going to create collaboration, you'll create the opposite. Unless you take the time out as a team to understand how people are wired differently. The fact that that does matter. Let me ask you a question. Does it really matter if you take people with you on change? Does it really matter if only a small number of people get this technology, this digital technology journey? Social media and social business practice now is forcing us to question our values. And it's forcing us to go deeper in the conversations around who we really are and what we care about. So at the Emotional Economy at Work, we have invested time now in building conversations and workshops and approaches which bring teams and organisations together who want to take the social journey, to go deeper in building relationships, to go deeper in the question of who are we and how can we innovate and collaborate for social good, but in ways that actually open up the conversation, open up the connections between people by developing trust. So we don't have to worry too much about these massive risk-based, security software, anti-bullying, anti-cyberbullying challenges. Now, some of that might always occur, so you have safeguards in place. But if you develop a positive culture, starting with the question of who are we, how are we wired? 1/3 of people are naturally wired around trusting, giving trust and expecting to be trusted. 1/3 are wired around distrusting. How is that going to work? How are we going to come together and collaborate in ways that allow all of us to go forward? There's a great old principle which says, do unto others as you would have done unto you. But it's called the golden principle, but in the social age, I think we can call it the platinum principle, which is do unto others as they would want to have done to them. In other words, treat people as they want to be treated. But you first need to discover who they are. So in the social collaborative space now, which I'm seeing some amazing conversations, the amazing use of social technology, excited with the connection with Kinship, with their work. But let's just take some time out in the social journey to actually build a collaborative experience together, starting with who am I, who are you, who are we. We've all got strengths. We no longer use the word weaknesses in the social age. We talk about struggles. Struggles as strengths pushed too far. So how do we learn how to maximise our strengths? The Gallup Group do some of the best engagement stuff in the world. They're now saying that the contributors, I call them the contributors, 13% of the world's population at work is really engaged or happy at work. The contributors, they are 6 times more impactful on the bottom line than those who aren't. And those people who are engaged at work actually work to their signature strengths most of the time. But only 1 out of 5 people at work to their signature strengths. Through social, we now have the opportunity to experience have the tools and the platforms to take those strengths, to take the best of the individual strengths, to line them with others, to take the time out to understand what it is to be well, as well as to do well for social good. So if you'd like to know more about what we're doing here, I'd love to have a conversation with you around natural strengths, natural wiring, and how to bring out the best of both relationships and results in your social business practice and experience.